Hi, and welcome back to Inspired Alchemy with Lizzie. This is episode 78. And as you can tell, I'm sick. I actually haven't been this sick in a while, and I have debated on putting this out because number one, I'm sick, and number two, I have a lot of feelings about a lot of things, so I don't know where this is going to go. And it wasn't until about 5 minutes ago that I was like, I need to do something. And not because of consistency, which, yes, that's important, but because I need people to know. I need people to know that you're not alone. And in being sick, there's a way that I look at being sick. And again, this is going to be all over the place, so I apologize. So if you are not interested in the ramblings of a sick on and off person, you don't have to listen. But these are all the things that are on my mind, and I'm going to try to keep it as no, it's just going to come out the way that it is. So, yeah, it's going to be ramblings. So, when I'm sick, I look at things in a different way than I used to. I grew up sick all of the time. I had the weirdest things come up that doctors are like, I don't know how you got that. How did you get that? Why are you sick like this? Everything. My whole life I've always heard, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. That being said, I'm no stranger to illness or chronic illness or anything like that. A lot of my chronic illness I've healed through things that I've done over the years. But that being said, when 2020 came around, I got the virus a couple of times. And I don't know what I can and cannot say. It shouldn't really matter at all. But I kind of want this message to get out to as many people as possible. So I'm seeing a lot of people sick right now. And I'm seeing a lot of people struggling mentally, physically, spiritually, all of these things. And I shared with a friend the other day something that was shared with me that changed my perspective completely when I got the virus. And it's somebody also involved in the spiritual community and things like that. And I don't think she knows what kind of impact she made on me when I reached out and I said, guys, how do I fight this? And I've always been one for mindset and for words. And she goes, you don't. It's not a fight. And that perspective changed me completely. And I started going down the rabbit holes, which I won't really go into here. But if you want to, you can go and look up viruses and how they affect your DNA and how they affect your mind and all of these different things. But so these are the ramblings of me and my perspective. This is not medical advice. This is not truth. Please go do your own research. Don't listen to anybody on social media. Don't listen to anybody on podcasts. Just go do your own research. Use your brain and go do your own research. So for me in particular, I said, okay, all right. Hey, virus, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to show me? And as I've done that over the past 6 years, whenever I would start to get a cold or something would start to happen, my body would automatically relax. And I said, I just want to know. It's the same thing that happens when I go into my inner winter. Most women fight it. How can I fight this? You can't. It's part of your body. It's part of what you do. It's your cycles. And so we don't fight it. We don't fight our bodies. We ask, what are you trying to show me? And so I do this the same thing anytime I get sick. This has been the weirdest sickness that I have gotten in many, many years because I hardly ever get sick anymore. And when I do, it puts me down for a day or two and I'm fine. And while this hasn't been terrible, it hasn't been great either. And it's been a lot of weird symptoms. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And so the day that I asked it, it was the first day that I felt pretty bad. And I go, hey, what are you trying to teach me? Hey, body, what are we trying to understand? And some stuff came up. And yeah, I'll share one of the things with you. So I have and it's going to sound silly, but I have a fear of meeting people's parents, whether it's my daughter's friends or parents of my friends, whoever it is. Because in my experience, people who have been really important to me, their families end up not liking me in the end. Is that always true? No, absolutely not. It's not always true. But it happens. And I understand that not everybody's going to like me. That's okay. I'm not for everybody. Not a big deal. But what came to me was something that I needed to shed that I didn't even know was something. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't trying to fix anything. I wasn't trying to heal anything. I was just allowing myself to be. And thoughts pop into my head that I never even thought about. And I go, oh, I'm afraid to meet people's parents because my mother never liked me. Holy crap. What am I going to do with that information? I don't know. I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just allowing it to be. And sometimes awareness is the only thing that we need to do. We don't need to be constantly fixing. We can become addicted to that cycle of fixing ourselves and healing and all of these things when in actuality, we just need to be present to understand. We don't have to fix everything. So that is one thing. I also know that there's so much weird energy. People are shifting and pivoting and sorry, I had to get water. Like I said, people are shifting, they're pivoting, they're starting to question absolutely everything in their lives. What do they really want? Who are they really? What what's going to make them happy and what doesn't? What do they want in their reality and what don't they? And I'm seeing this across the board. And I'm seeing it in myself as well. And I've had some new kind of I don't want to say epiphanies, but words are escaping me more than normal at this point. But I've had some things pop into my head and I'm like, yeah, things that used to be important to me, I kind of took a back seat because they started to become a lot in a world that's overstimulating and so much data and so much noise that I kind of just go, you know what, this is a lot. But I'm starting to remember again. And I'm like, how do I blend these things with the things that I'm doing now? And honestly, and it's pretty seamless. Taking everything that is my soul and turning it into something. Again, I never know how any of this is going to work out. I don't know how things are going to go with Black Cathedral. I'm still in talks with attorneys about it. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it here, but the company that is I'm not going to say names, but the company that is kind of questioning me is one of the biggest. It's a global company. I'll just say that. It is a global company. And I'm like, of course it is. Of course it is. And instead of spiraling like I would, I said, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? And in following each of those small steps, I'm coming to more realizations. Again, I'm not trying to fix anything. I'm not trying to. Am I trying to figure things out? Kind of. But I'm also just allowing things to happen as they need to. And it's been an interesting turn of events. And I feel like it's just the beginning. What does that mean? I have no idea. But I'm noticing the more that I trust in my intuition, the more that I allow things to flow, the more interesting things happen. And I say interesting because somebody can tell me, oh, I plan to go to this coffee shop today. And I'm like, oh, I was just looking at that place. There are so many synchronicities that there's no way, even if I believed in coincidences, there's no way I could believe in coincidence at this point. So I'm like, okay, universe, what else do you have? Show me. I'm not saying I get through all of this unscathed. Some of this is really challenging, and I cry, and I I throw up my hands sometimes because I don't know. I don't know how to get where I can see. All I know is that I have to take the next sustainable step. And if that next sustainable step means me deciding to put this episode out today, no matter that I don't feel good, no matter if I sound like a dying walrus, or however I sound, no matter if it's messy, whatever it means, if my one small sustainable step is talking to you from my couch, that is what I'm going to do. Another big part of, and I said this at the beginning of the episode, another big part of why I wanted to put this out is there's so much energy going around right now. There's so much anger and there's so much fear, and there's so many people questioning everything. I want to remind you to stay focused. Don't get distracted. And as I say this, I feel deep emotion that I'm going to try to process as I'm saying these things out loud, no matter if they seem simple or not. The energy that I'm feeling, the emotion that I have been feeling over the past couple of weeks can sometimes even be a lot for me, and I'm used to processing this kind of stuff. But I don't think at this level. And so, yeah, it's challenging. But that being said, there's so much going on right now. Don't get distracted. Please don't allow what is going on to make you think that we are divided. And I'm not just talking about here where I live. I'm talking about globally. And I'm not going to go into it all. But please know that there are more human beings out there with love in them than there are with hate. No matter what we're seeing on social media, no matter what we're seeing on the news. I don't listen to the news and I don't watch the news, but I know a lot of people do. And I'm going to bring up this again. And I've mentioned this before. I want you to think of the movies Monsters, Inc. Because it's really one of the best things that I can kind of use to get my point across. Their city thrived off fear. Fear is a strong emotion. It's extremely strong. So strong that it scares us into doing things we wouldn't normally do. But in that movie, what was stronger? Laughter, love, the wild soul of a child. We have forgotten this. Love is stronger, and people can have their opinions on that. But I believe love is stronger. Even in the wreckage. And am I saying that within love you're not going to be angry? Absolutely not. We have every right to be angry. But it's what we do with that anger and frustration that matters. Anger can be used to destroy, but if channeled properly, it can be used to create. Whatever it is that you want to create, and you can channel that into creation, and in turn, love. Anger is grief. And once we start to name these things and not see these emotions as bad, then we can learn how to channel them. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I have been in a cocoon mode. I have been in hermit mode. I have also been moving through a lot of things that I thought I had healed. And well, I have. Deeper levels of that come up when I see other people experiencing what I did. And I want to know how I can serve people better. I want to know how I can use my story to make one person, even if it's one person, feel less alone in the world. Even if it's one person, for them to feel more connected instead of disconnected, accepted instead of judged, understood instead of misunderstood. If my story, if my voice helps one person, I will continue to speak every day of my life. And that's a lot, considering my voice was something I was always terrified of, and I have said that on multiple episodes. And you can do the same. Fear doesn't have to be the end all. Ask it what it's trying to show you. And take one step, no matter how tiny it is. And ask, okay, what's next? I have a lot on my mind and a lot on my soul, and doing the little things each day I can to bring myself to a place where I can, I don't want to, I don't know how to put this out. My words again are escaping me. But I just keep asking, what's the next step I can take? What's the next thing that I can do so that others don't feel alone and how they're feeling? Because it feels crazy. And I know I'm supposed to be sharing whatever these ramblings are because I can feel it in my body as energy. And again, in a world, in a society, in a system that's built to keep us sick mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, be the glitch. It doesn't have to be something big. You just keep taking small steps. And again, I'm not going to rant and rave about everything that's on my mind because that's not what I do. I process it and then I bring it to you. But what I do want to say is that in a world, in the system, that makes us feel disconnected, we're not disconnected. We are part of each other, and nature is part of us. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't believe everything that you are told. Do your research. Don't take my word or anybody else's word for anything. I actually teach this to my daughter as well. I teach her to question everything. We are not divided. We are not broken. Human beings need to remember who they are. We are full of magic. And whatever that word means to you, magic is just stuff that science hasn't caught up with yet. There's so much out there. Follow your soul. Follow your dreams. Your life doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It's not your responsibility to be understood. It's your responsibility to live this one beautifully, amazing, chaotic, weird, sometimes painful life. And to alchemize all of that, however you feel. And remember, these emotions that people want to label as bad, they're not bad. It's what we do with them. If you want to go destroy stuff, okay, maybe you need to step back and take a look at what's going on, because that's not the answer. You can go to a rage room. Yeah. You're not broken. You don't need constant fixing. And if you feel the need to move, whichever way that is, whether that's taking responsibility for your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, whatever it is, do it. If that means changing your diet, working out, getting into nature, learning, I don't know, whatever it is it means to you, then do it. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. That's all I have for you today, because I could ramble on. Just know that if somebody hasn't told you today, I'm proud of you. You are loved. You are enough as you are in this moment. And if you're here, you're an alchemist. Alchemize it. Rise. Keep going. Because on the other side is so much beautiful freedom. Again, you are loved and you're not broken. Until next time, keep creating alchemy. This is Inspired Perpetual Alchemy.